report by the UN warns that the world has a little less than a year to reduce the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere because it may already be too late. It's 2050. The future we've been fearing is here, and it's not good unless we take immediate action. The human species has never experienced temperatures this extreme, and other plant and animal species have struggled to adapt to losing their habitats due to the warming climate. We've already seen the most devastating consequences of climate change as severe storms, rising sea levels, and floods have submerged many small Pacific islands, as well as the entire state of Florida. Many countries are refusing to accept climate refugees due to a lack of resources. Other consequences include crop failure, as we have seen a global food shortage these past few years. Countries whose economic systems depend on agriculture have been most affected. Sub-Saharan, Western, and Central Africa are the most vulnerable because of their economic dependence on agriculture and rainfall, and extreme poverty has created barriers to adaptation. As the human population has tripled within the last few decades, there is just not enough land and rainwater to grow enough food due to recurrent droughts, and pesticides have become less effective. As you already know, there has been a significant increase in food prices. As a consequence, there have been more instances of malnutrition due to lack of access of food, which has caused many people to struggle to feed their families. While some regions have experienced massive flooding, other regions do not have enough water. According to MIT researchers, 52% of the global population currently live in water-stressed regions, and 80% of those affected live in developing countries. Nearly 5 billion people have already been displaced by intense water scarcity due to the failure of institutions ensuring a regular supply and lack of adequate infrastructure. So if you still have clean running water this month, consider yourself lucky. As greenhouse gases have continued to increase with current rates, global temperatures have increased about 1.5 to almost 3 degrees Celsius in the last decade. The main driver of this increase is human-caused, as the lack of knowledge and heightened level of human activity has accelerated the amount of carbon that's put into the atmosphere and has reached levels that are irreversible. The UN does not see the will to make political choices that are urgent. With these facts and statistics, the evidence and the cost, the US government still has yet to decide what to do with it. Just like we saw with the 2020 coronavirus pandemic, if you wait to see the impact, it's too late to stop it. The same principle has been happening with climate change over decades instead of months. According to the UN, before the coronavirus outbreak, food insecurity was already a severe problem. More than 820 million people, 1 in every 9, did not have enough to eat. Of these, 113 million were coping with hunger so severe that it posed an immediate threat to their lives and livelihoods. The pandemic's economic impact continues to cause these numbers to rise, and the same consequences are happening now with the global water shortage where poor, marginalized, and vulnerable groups are the most susceptible. Many people are just now questioning how to restructure our global and national food systems to ensure political and financial stability, protect our communities from poor health and environmental degradation, and ensure economic vitality. As of today, the President has ordered all U.S. citizens into quarantine immediately to work from home to reduce the amount of carbon emissions in the atmosphere as the climate increasingly warms. During the 2020 pandemic, there was a 25% drop in carbon emissions and a significant decrease in air pollution in China because of quarantine measures. The U.S. government is implementing the same quarantine standards as a last resort to fighting the climate change and pleads with everyone to do their part in combating this issue.